Summertime. Not much to say except a team effort, a sweep. These guys deserve it. Obviously, it starts and ends with defense and pitching. And I thought our defense this weekend was phenomenal. I thought we made unbelievable plays. Jody was just telling me, how good we were with runners in scoring position, how good we were with 2 out big knocks. And that's just part of the game of baseball. You guys watch it. If you watch big league baseball, you got to ride the wave, and that's what the season is. And for me, it's not surprising. Obviously, others it might be because sometimes if you're expected to be something and you're not exactly that, these guys take a lot of heat for it. But I'm not surprised that they've been playing well recently and found a way at Virginia Tech, found a way at East Carolina, and to finish our season with the sweep is a credit to them, and I'm very thankful for all those guys that we honored today too. We had to get him in the game. We couldn't get Patty in because of his hamate. We even thought about he was going to run for Osuna if Osuna did get on. But a great day, a big weekend for us and what we're trying to accomplish. And told our guys, you take that shower, you got to flush it, enjoy it today, and we'll get back up tomorrow and we'll get ready for this road week.
You talked last night about Max just going out there just pitching.
Yeah.
And it seemed pretty similar script today for Jake as well. I think 17 first pitch strikes to 24 guys he faced. And what did you like just about what you saw from him?
Yeah, that was it. Just pounding the zone. Okay, we felt like they were going to swing, but if we threw a lot of strikes, that good things were going to happen. And I thought Knapp completely, set the tone for us. Tons of strikes, moved the ball both sides, pitches off his fastball, had some velocity, got even more fired up when they checked his laces.
I was going to ask you if he was doctoring the ball.
I was thinking to myself, they must not have done their research because they watched us against Virginia Tech and watched us against Gardner Webb. We were already awake, but that was going to awake. If you don't want to really awake a team that's ahead by that much. I thought Nat was outstanding, and he's getting better and better and better. Which is good for us.
So they were just trying to throw him off with asking for the inspection?
I don't know what they were doing.
To
me, it looks like they were saying we were cheating. So, we're a program of integrity, and they can think that all we want, but I would have been shocked. First thing I thought to myself, to be sure, Nat's not doing something I didn't think he was doing, because we don't encourage any of that stuff. But it is what it is. I kind of liked it after it happened because I knew our guys. I knew that they would be. I had to actually kind of calm them down a little bit to make sure they just took a deep breath.
And he just smiled, so he obviously wasn't worried.
No, I knew as soon as he smiled, I was like, well, he's definitely not doctoring his laces. I mean, you never know if a kid's going to do something you don't know about. Some teams may be doing that, but in North Carolina, we ain't doing it. And our guys know if they were, that they'd be having to answer to me. So that's all I got to say about it.
Was that the specific doctoring the laces, not sticky substances?
I guess they checked the laces. Yeah, that would be what it was. They thought something was on the laces.
Scott, you talk about riding the wave, and maybe you said, becoming maybe what you might have been expected to be. I don't know if that's what you were getting at, but what do you sense about the way the wave is going right now when you talk about riding the wave?
I just see confidence. And you get punched in the face sometime in the season, and you either the better teams handle adversity and it makes them better. The teams that aren't as good, they usually fold somewhere in there. But that, to answer your question, I really didn't know. I knew positionally I had a decent idea, but I also knew that what other people didn't know. We lost 2 guys that had 100 hits apiece. Two of the best pure hitters in the ACC, starting switch hit and shortstop. So we're going to have to plug that hole. And I knew we lost our whole bullpen and a weekend starter that threw 100 innings. That's where people think, they look at recruiting rankings, but at the end of the day, experience is experience. And Knapp hadn't had it at North Carolina, and Pence hadn't had it at North Carolina, and Peterson hadn't had it at North Carolina. Go on and on and on in Poston. So I thought it would take a little while. I was just hoping that we could navigate the waters once we got into the ACC, because the ACC is so dang good, and keep our head above water towards the end. I felt like maybe our guys would, or at least as coaches, we would have an idea of where we should put them to have more success.
Just to follow up on that, though, what do you think the feeling is that this is your first ACC sweep of the season, obviously against your rival? What do you think the feeling that this creates for your guys?
First of all, our chances to sweep have been on the road. In the ACC, if I am correct, because we lost the second game to Duke at home. We just felt like we really challenged the guys this year to play. Let's be tougher on the road because we stunk on the road last year. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, well, maybe I should have said something about defending our turf.
You overcorrected.
Yeah, I don't know, but that's what I'm excited about too, because I knew it was sold out. I knew our fans. You guys have been reading about how awesome they've been, how they've showed up, and I'm glad they kept showing up because I felt like, okay, this is a weekend. We get our confidence back. Now, obviously, confidence grows when you find a way to win a game like Thursday nights, like a lot like the Friday night game against, or Thursday night whenever we played Florida State. As soon as hit the walk-off, kind of had that same feeling like, okay, there are games that are so razor thin. You look at Boston College, we win that game on Friday, they don't win it. You can reverse the course in a second. So, yeah, I'm just – anytime you get a sweep, I'm telling you, it is harder to do than I've ever seen since I've been in the league because everybody's so good.
Right.
So I'm going to enjoy it, I can tell you that.
So you had stretches where the bullpen let you down. You had stretches where the starting rotation let you down. And today specifically, both of them came through really well, and it seems like everything's come together in that regard.
Yeah, I feel like we have a better idea of what roles to put in guys in, too. That's part of coaching. You're trying to put guys in the role to have success. And like a little thing, like Coach Gaines and Peterson figuring out, and Coach Howell figuring out that the four-seamer he was throwing, he needed to switch his grip or do something with his fastball because it was really bad analytically on the numbers. And as soon as he went to a two-seamer, it becomes like one of our best fastballs. And if you pay attention, that thing is it's almost like a spitball, like a sinker. So, these guys work, and our ultimate leader, is Horvath, and you got a guy like Pride. So like I really don't have to do much. I just try to keep them believing. When you go through those tough stretches.
What percentage of suspended players have served their suspension to this point?
I think a little bit over half. So we're getting there. It is what it is, and we're just dealing with it.
I wanted to ask you about just the road success. The 9 wins on the road, most I think it's like 2018 or something like that. You talked about it's not just last year, but the first year, as head coach too, just struggling on the road. Is it as much just experience, or is there another quality to that that's kind of allowed you to have success there?
I don't know. It's the same group for the most part. Obviously we got a lot of new guys. You got a ton of new guys, but Honeycutt and was on the team last year. Cook is new, but he kind of knew. The COVID year, I don't know. I just kind of take that one, and I don't know what to think about it, to be honest with you. My head was spinning enough first year head coach, and then you add COVID in there. But you try to embrace it more. You want to play. You really want to play in the toughest environments when you're a good team and you're a competitor. Because playing at home, you got your own environment. But there's nothing better. I've been there. I've been in Alabama when Flack hit the walk-off and everybody's standing on their feet. It's just different, when you have, and the team has the right mentality that can really help you. Because when you're at home, you're expected. If you're a good team, you're more expected to win the series at least. So we'll use that to our advantage this week. We'll embrace it. Hopefully, it'll sell out at Coastal. I hope it's sold out at Clemson. I hope it's just riding our guys because that's what it's about.
Is it possible? I know this seems like it was a long time ago. Is it possible that Grant's pinch hit the other night was one of the biggest hits of this series, maybe the biggest? I think he had 18 hits today.
100%.
So
100%. Yep. And
just
there's a kid that broke a rib.
Right.
So it hadn't been easy for him to come back. He's been hurting. And for him to be, to work and step up and do that, I really believe if you are a great teammate and you do things the right way and you embrace the team concept, somewhere you get rewarded in some way, shape, or form. And that's Eric Grant's 2AT. Does everything right, great student, works his tail off, never complains, always ready. And we were thankful that we had him to put him in there.
Right, it finds its way back to you.
Finds its way back to you. Yep, karma, humble, all that stuff. Thank y'all.
Good?
Thank y'all.
Good talking to you, Scott. Good talking. Thank you, man. Crank the AC.
Congratulations, Jake.
Sticky stuff on my
What was working well for you? What was working well for you today?
Primarily the fastball. We saw last night with Carlson, he attacked him mostly with heaters, and we weren't going to change that until they started hitting. So early and often with the fastball and mixing in a couple sliders and changeups just to keep them off balance.
Now, take me through the beginning of the fourth inning when they come out there. What are they looking for? What did they tell you they were looking for?
I guess the NC State coaching staff assumed that I was using sticky stuff on my glove. So they took my hat, my glove, felt my hands. I just kind of laughed at it. I thought maybe they should check the bats. Those guys were hitting all weekend. But, I just did what they said, and obviously nothing came of it. So fired us up a little bit, gave us even a little more energy. So.
I mean, I haven't often seen a pitcher being checked like that who's smiling like you were.
Grinning.
Yeah, I just laughed. I knew I had nothing on there, and I just kind of thought it was funny that thought it was kind of a last-ditch effort to kind of get under our skin. But, I just laughed at it, and the umpires were very, very good about it. But never happened to me before, and just kind of did what they said. So
tell me about between the Duke game and today, what was giving you trouble that didn't give you trouble today?
Fastball command. I think that's where everything starts with me. When my fastball's in the zone, things go well. So commanding the fastball, getting ahead in counts. They were swinging early, kept my pitch count down. So when I command my fastball, I feel like everything else kind of goes along with that.
So I understand you had 2 complete games last year at Walters State, but this is your longest.
That's a little different than here. So last year I would pitch in the second game of a doubleheader, and at Walters State it'd be 7-inning games, and we had a mercy rule in effect as well. So I think those complete games were 5 innings.
Oh, really? So this was your career longest then?
I have no idea. I couldn't tell you, but I may have gone further in the games at Walters State. I'm not sure, but we had different rules in effect in junior college. So if I'm not mistaken, they were 5-inning complete games, but I could be wrong.
Oh,
You touched on it there. I mean, but you got first pitch strikes against 17 to 24 guys in defense today. Like, I mean, as you're kind of finding your group there, like, just how big was that as to your success?
Yeah, and it kind of all stems based off what Carlson did yesterday. We saw that the fastball can be effective, and I know that that's my best pitch. So just challenging them, not even nibbling at the corners, just kind of here it is. And as they got their 2 solo shots, and normally that's not going to beat you. So just attacking them with it, and kind of just Frick was set up middle for most of the game, stayed on the inner third of the plate or the middle third of the plate, and just attacked them. So.
Jake, what is your sense of maybe the momentum that seems to be starting to work for you guys, just as a team? You know, I mean, this is the first ACC series you've won. You've swept, I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
You sweep the Wolfpack, and I think it's you've won 8 of your last 10. Just what do you feel like is maybe developing for you guys at the right time of the season here?
So I know more about the pitching staff than the hitters because I'm with those guys every day, and everyone's confident. Obviously, we got beat up a little bit in the middle of the season, but everyone's confident going out there, leaving it all out there. I think that's the biggest thing, attacking them. The walks are going down. Defense has been playing great. And then I don't think we put up 10 runs a game this weekend. I don't know what the average would be.
You had like a 7-0 lead pretty quickly.
And that really changes everything. You're attacking them. If they hit a home run, solo shot, it doesn't really change the game. So you're attacking them, and the fastball command for everyone. The bullpen's been rock solid down the stretch. Bovair had a tough outing, but he's been great for us all year. Carlson coming back, that was awesome. So pitching's getting better. Everything's getting better. That's not exactly sure why. Everyone's confident, but people keep firing us up in different ways, and that
they do. Yeah,
that
right.
helps as well. So
There's one more for Jake.
so it's as if State gave you kind of a gift in the 4th inning there.
yeah, I think a couple of the kids were telling me that's when my velo was the highest. So it fired me up a little bit, but defense played great. Honey had the good catch in center. Mac tracked balls down. The infield kept them all in, so it made my job real easy.
Thanks.
Thank you guys.
Good talking to you. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Geez, RL, I want 1,000 words on this thing. I mean, my goodness.
Very good.
What about the way the team has really surged here in the last week or so? What have you seen? How is this happening?
Well, I mean, we've kind of done the same thing last year. Just this time of the season is when the heels get hot, I guess you can say. I don't know. It's just everyone kind of grabbing onto each other and playing for each other, not worrying about themselves, which has helped us, I think, this last few weeks.
So you've picked up that it might feel a little bit like it did last year then. Is that what you're saying? Or don't let me talk you into it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a completely different team and year, but yeah, there's some similarities, I guess you can say. We got good leadership, I think, and that's really what got us where we were last year, and I think it's going to get us there again this year and even further. So,
I mean, for you, this might be a little bit of a broad question, but how would you kind of describe this season? Obviously, starting the way it did, and then having to overcome another obstacle here the last couple of weeks, being out again, just be able to put yourself in a situation where you have another big weekend this weekend.
Yeah, for me personally, or for the team? Yeah, I mean, I've had some adversity. I'm not gonna lie about it or make excuses about it, but I feel like I just tried to stick to getting better every day and trying to do my best to help these guys on the field, even if I'm not on the field. But yeah, just kind of acknowledging that I've had a up and down season from a standpoint of being out injured and then coming back and then getting COVID and so all that. But yeah, just trying to do my best every day to get better.
What is the feeling of sweeping the Wolfpack? I mean, that's
awesome. It means a lot for these guys around here, and it means a lot for this team. That's going to help us, down this stretch this last week, and then getting into the tournament in Durham, I guess. So it's going to be great.
The only time you'd previously played them here was obviously during that COVID season. Only 850 people were allowed in for that. Just kind of what was just the environment like this weekend?
Yeah, it was way different, obviously, back then. I remember everyone was out by the field hockey field, and we didn't do too well that weekend. But, I mean, it's completely different. Like I said, different season. And, having the crowd behind us really does help us. And we've been, I remember the Duke series, there was a lot of people, and we really appreciate having, the fans behind us and supporting us.
What sort of approach did you feel like you guys had at the plate today? I mean, you were ahead, I think 3-0 pretty quickly, and it's 7, and then it's 10-0. You jumped on them pretty fast today. What did you think about you guys at the plate?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for us is we were being patient and waiting for our pitch, not hitting their pitches. They made a lot of mistakes for us, and we capitalized on them. And that's something we talked about, before this weekend series, is just sticking with your approach throughout the whole at-bat, even, if something changes in the at-bat, just sticking with it. And it ended up working out well for us.
But the defense, I don't know when you guys made an error last, but you're not making errors. You're making great plays. You included. Seems to be really tough for the opponent.
Yeah, I was thinking that the whole weekend. The pitcher's been pitching really well, but we also been picking it as a whole behind them, and that helps us a lot. And that's one of the things we focus on is defending and pitching and defense, obviously. But yeah, it was incredible to see. I mean, Colby made some great plays. Vance, Vanderbrink, Mac. I mean, everyone made some great plays. So yeah, it was awesome to see that.
For lack of a better description, is it cool to be playing the way you guys are right now, and then you have Coastal next, and then Clemson looks like it's a pretty big series, to close out the regular season. I mean, it's just kind of a neat thing to have this happening and some meaningful games really coming here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a challenge ahead. It's always a challenge, in the league. But yeah, it's a great opportunity for us to finish off the season strong and get ready for playoffs.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, Vince.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man.